Whose impact would be greater? Pipkins having a decent or average year, or Spiller stepping up and having a good year at RB2? This is actually a fascinating question. Both of those things I think we'd like to see happen. But in my opinion, there's a clear answer of what needs to happen. And I think it might surprise you. I think it's Spiller.
Oh, that was not what I was expecting.
No,
okay,
I know.
Go ahead. Okay, I can't wait to hear this.
Now, the reason for that, Trey Pipkins, I think, is going to have kind of an average year. I think he was average last year, if we're being honest, like maybe a little below average. But the Chargers can make do with that. They can scheme around that if he's not able to perform at that level. Justin Herbert still had an MVP caliber season when he didn't have a right tackle. I don't think that is as crucial as everyone is kind of fearing. If you have a bad right tackle, yes, I know the Max Crosby game week 18, that sucked. But now that we have less holes on the offensive line, you can scheme against that. You have a Zion Johnson right next to him. You can bring a tight end. You can bring a Josh Kelley over there if he makes the team to help with pass protection. What you can't do is produce an RB2 and spell Austin Ekeler when there is no RB2 behind him. You're fumbling at the 1 yard line, i.e. Josh Kelley. You're getting 2 yards per carry, i.e. the rest of the running back squad. You're hurt almost the entire season, i.e. the rest of the running back squad. Like, you're going through attrition all year, and Austin Ekeler is the only constant, and because of that, he's kind of getting a little beat up. Now, the guy's pound for pound, probably the best, most physical running back in the NFL, but give the Chargers a second running back of the likes of Isaiah Spiller. If he can come in and produce at average to above average level, this Chargers offense completely transforms. I think an RB2 productive season means far more, in my opinion, than a above average right tackle.
See, I'm going to go the opposite with that, Dan. And I say that just because I'm excited to see what Spiller is going to bring to this running back room. I've been on record multiple times saying that I think that Justin Herbert is not going to be as productive as he was last year, but not for the wrong reason, specifically because I think the Chargers are going to put more of an emphasis on the running game and trying to not have Justin Herbert play hero ball so much. Get us into a position where we can run the ball and grind down the opposing defense. And especially if you can get a two-headed monster like Austin Ekeler and Isaiah Spiller to be productive, then that's going to be a huge valuable asset for this offense. But Dan, at the end of the day, who's blocking for the likes of Austin Ekeler and Isaiah Spiller? I mean, how many times could you remember last year of a productive run being had to the left side as opposed to the right side? And on top of that, from the right tackle perspective, it just controls so many aspects outside of the run game from Justin Herbert's protection. I mean, it really took a shot to the Chargers offensive line when Oday Aboushi went down last year. Because even when you had Bryan Bulaga go out after the Washington, the right side of your line was still serviceable. But when he went down, it really just opened things up on that right side in a bad way. We saw Storm Norton get exposed so many times. And now with the lights, it's interesting to think, Dan, if you did not have Oday Aboushi go down last year with as productive as he was being, think about this. We may be living in a universe where Zion Johnson is not your pick at 17 if he did not go down, because the way that he was producing was extremely positive for this offensive line. But to the right tackle spot, with everything that we've been hearing that's positive about Trey Pipkins, Dan, I think if you can get him to match the athletic capabilities that he has and just grasp the technical aspects, the fundamentals, and hold down that right side, I think having a guy like Zion Johnson is going to help that immensely. But you lock down that right side of the line and immediately it makes obviously it protects your quarterback a lot better from both sides, and it gives your offense a little bit more versatility from especially a run game perspective on we're going to go both ways and not just rely on our all-pro rookie going to the left